Okay. All right, everyone. Start next meeting. Oh, before we get started, because we will be taking attendance. So just a reminder, if you're with someone else, to rename so that both of your names are in there. And then if you like are on your iPhone or it doesn't have your full name, just make sure it's your first and last name so that we can mark you as attended. So while you're doing that, I'm gonna share my screen. We're gonna get started. Very excited. Can't believe this is our third meeting. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to do a quick wellness check really quick. So why don't you all message in the chat how you're feeling? Oh my goodness, a lot of people are tired and stressed. Thankful, stressed, happy, and tired. Stressed. What is stressing you all out for those of you who are really stressed? What's kind of getting to you? School, essays, tests, exams. Oh my goodness. So still in midterm season. Okay. Well, that's all right. We'll be getting there. The semester, the end will come soon. Well, I hope that of the ones who did have all their midterms, I hope it went well. You all are feeling somewhat relaxed. Maybe after all of your tests are over, you all can go do something fun to celebrate, since it seems like you all have a lot going on. Okay, so just talk about what we're going to be going over today. We're going to be doing kind of a community activity. So hopefully you all got the newsletter this week and you saw that there was like a personality assessment. And we're going to do that and it's going to be really fun. Then we're going to talk about sisterhood versus friendship. We're going to be doing our pre-initiation module review. So hopefully you watched that video that I sent out in the newsletter. We're going to be doing some reflection. Then we're going to talk about just some initiation details. And then we'll do like Delta Week. So I'll give you kind of more details over Delta Week and kind of explain everything we have going on this week. Then I'm going to give you all some updates on Omega 1. We finally have some updates and you are going to be getting your access. Thank goodness. Then we'll do some announcements. We'll talk about Welcome Home Wednesday, which is really just a part of Delta Week this week. And then we'll be doing a sister spotlight. Oops. So before we get started, like I said last week, we always read our purpose just to kind of ground ourselves and center ourselves. So I'm going to read it out loud and you all can just kind of follow along with me or you can read it to yourself. So the purpose of Delta 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 shall be to establish a perpetual bond of friendship among its members, to develop a stronger and more womanly character, to broaden the moral and intellectual life, and to assist its members in every possible way. It shall also be the purpose of Delta 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 to promote and develop mutually beneficial relationships between the fraternity and the colleges and universities where the fraternity has established chapters, to develop qualities of unselfish leadership among its members, and to encourage them to assume with integrity and devotion to moral and democratic principles the highest responsibilities of college women. So I hope we all feel a little bit more centered. Hope that grounded us before we get going today. So now we're going to do our Yuzu activity. This is like one of my favorite activities ever. Did you all get a chance to take this personality assessment? It was in your newsletter. Can I get a thumbs up if you did? Okay, it sounds like a lot of people did. So what I'm going to have you do, I'm going to send the link to the newsletter in the chat for those of you who didn't get a chance to take it so that you can go and click the link and do the assessment. But if you did do it, what I want you to do is rename your name. So it's going to be like, if I was a lion, I would do lion dash whatever my name is. So I want you to rename it to what your name is so you can see what everyone is. And then I'm going to put in the chat the newsletter so that if you didn't take the assessment, you can go take it really quick because we're going to need you to know what your personality is while you do that.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So, when we found out the score for each one, is it just in like chronological order from like which one we got? So let's say like I had the second column was my highest. Is that then the second character is what it is?
So whatever like column was your highest is like what your like animal was. So like so did you figure out like which animal it was?
Well, so it goes directing line and interacting. Oh, I'm illiterate. Porpoise. Um, so then would it be like that? So if like our first one was the highest, we're the line, and like so on and so forth.
No, so you're only the well, so your second one does kind of matter too, but I'll explain that.
No,
Like,
no, no, no.
later.
I mean, like I'm just confused on how I know which one was mine.
Like if she scored highest in like column A, does that mean she's the lion?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Thank you.
Yes.
I have no idea how to change my name. Does anybody know how to do that?
Are you on your computer? Are you on?
Yeah, I'm on my laptop.
Okay, so if you hover over your little square, like your picture,
Mhm.
and you click the little dots on the corner,
Oh, yeah, I'm just slow. Thank you.
you're good. Okay, so is everyone able to rename? I can see some people's animal. Make sure to make your animal like the first part. So it should be like Eagle dash Laney. I see some koalas. And while some of you are taking that assessment and kind of like renaming yourself, just go ahead and kind of review over the packet with the information on your animal.
Lainey, I can't find the link. I can't find the link. I just joined too, so I don't have it in the chat yet.
Okay, I'll re-put it in the chat. And you'll click that and it'll take you to the newsletter, and it's just like one of the first little sections. Okay. I think I'm still waiting on a few people to rename. How much more time do you all need for those of you who are doing the assessment right now?
Just a few more minutes.
Okay.
Wait, I have a question. So I'm with Steph right now. we both like when we click on the link, it just like brings us to the sheet where you can like add up your points.
Yeah, so there's a scoring sheet and then there's a like a packet.
And then we click on it.
Yeah, so the packet will explain like what your personality is. And then the
okay.
scoring sheet is just what you use in order to take the assessment.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. I see a lot of dolphins. I think that's a good sign. And a lot of lions. And then for those of you who have already taken the assessment, do you all have the your scoring sheet with you? I see some nods, some yes. Okay, because you'll want that too. And we're gonna do 2 more minutes to let you all get all your scores in because I'm still waiting for a couple more, and then we'll do our activity.
Hey, Lainey.
Yeah.
I don't know if you got my message, but basically, my computer battery level
Mhm.
is really low. I'm at my work study, so I don't have my charger with me. So I'm hoping it'll like last, but it might not. So if I just drop, that's why.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, is anyone still taking the assessment? No? Okay. So keep your scores by you because we're going to use them at the end. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you all into breakout groups with all of your personality types. So you all are going to be all together. And what I want you all to do is you're going to come up with a list of likes and dislikes. And so you're going to, what I'm going to have you do is come up with a list of dislikes and likes, and then you're going to pick one person who's going to present to the whole group of things that you like and things that you don't like. Because there's so many of you who fall into a couple of the categories, like we have a lot of koalas, we have a lot of porpoise, dolphins, like whatever you all like want to call them. So because there's so many of you, I'm going to give you all about 4 minutes to like write to yourself different things that you like and things that you don't like, and they can be anything. So like for me, my animal is an eagle. So things that I really like is I like to do lists, I like to do calendar planning, I like to have sticky notes and multicolored pins, and things that I don't like are last minute scheduling and things like that. So then that's what I would write for myself. And then I would share it with the group, and then you all will like all combine your list. So you'll pick one person in your group to be the recorder and the presenter, and then they'll keep track of everyone's likes and dislikes and prepare. So why don't you all take, since the groups are so large, take about 4 minutes to write things that you like and things that you don't like down.
Where can we find that list of like things that we do or don't like, or is it just like what happens to be in the column of the animal?
So you just write down like what you like yourself and like what you don't like. Does that make sense?
Somewhat. I like to have like directions of like, oh, here are your options for like what you. Yeah.
What is your animal?
Koala.
Okay. Yeah, so you just write down like things like that you enjoy doing, like in your relationships, like
gotcha.
if you
Okay.
like quality time, or if you don't like, quality time, really whatever is best for you. So you're going to do your likes and your dislikes.
If y'all could try to keep your last names on your in your name, that would be really helpful because I'm taking attendance and there's a lot of you that have similar names.
Okay. Thank you, Meredith. All right, I'm going to open up the rooms and I'm going to give you all about till 5:30ish to come up with a list of likes and dislikes. And if you all want to like create some sort of graphic or do like a slide to like show everyone your list, definitely do that. Or you don't have to, but I'm going to open up the rooms and give you all a couple minutes to join them. Okay, and then for those of you all who are left, I'm going to get you assigned to a group. It's showing that I can't see. Olivia, what was your animal?
Koala.
Oh, koala. Okay. Olivia, you were a koala. Okay, I'm going to put you in the group. Okay, and then Takara, do you remember what your animal was? Oh,
Dolphin.
dolphin. Okay, there we go. All right. And then we have quite a few people in limbo.
So whatever you want to do, I don't care.
Okay, I'll do it. Let me click the link and ooh, I feel like I got a sneak peek since it's open. Okay, I'll share my screen.
Okay, so we were obviously the dolphin, and the next two slides are pictures of us so that you could get a face to the dolphin. And then I think you go to format. Yeah.
There we go.
So our faces. And then we typed in the chat, and then a bunch of people just yelled out things that we all had in common for our likes and dislikes, and this is kind of what we all agreed on. We like making new friends, we like organization, we like socializing, we like being open-minded and around others, we like good communication, being adventurous, we like last-minute plans and being spontaneous, we like freedom and direction. And for our dislikes, we don't like bad communication. We hate canceled plans. We don't like decision making. We don't like downtime or being still for too long. We hate drama and rude people. And someone mentioned that they hated the word tissue, so we had to include that. We don't like hypocrites. We don't like unreliable people, and we hate being late. And that's about it.
All right. Thank you, Allie. That was so great. Awesome. So yes, it says the porpoise most often asks the who questions. They operate very spontaneously, but still strives for noticeable results. Seeks freedom from detail and control, generates enthusiasm, emphasizes relationships, and openly expresses their feelings. So to improve relationships with a porpoise, focus on ideas and people, provide verbal approval and recognition, treat with warmth. So these are our fun people in the group who just like to keep everything lighthearted and just really everyone's friend, super bubbly. So we love our dolphin porpoise. I always say platypus sometimes, and it's not a platypus, it's like a porpoise. So will you all of the dolphins, will you all message in the chat what your score was?
Lainey, Alicia Scoucher wanted me to let you know that she's like been in and out of the Zoom, but it keeps on dropping because she's driving from Virginia.
Okay, thank you for letting me know. Okay, Spell, it looks like we've got a couple 39s. Okay, good. All right, let's hear from the koala group.
I wrote just in a Post-it note, some random notes, so not as fancy, but it'll work. I wrote for likes, communication, me time / space, being liked. Like we don't like when people don't like us. We like organization, plans, being outside, and star watching. And then for dislikes, we don't like conflict, like messy disorganization or procrastination.
Awesome. Yes, our koalas are just very rules and procedures, organization in the workplace. They really enjoy sincere appreciation, avoids taking risk, performs just routine and specialized work in predictable manner. So for all of us who have a koala friend or have koalas in our small group, be friendly and sincere, notify before making any changes, explain the importance of their role in reaching a goal, emphasize how specific actions will minimize risks. So we're very safe and steady koalas, very kind. So love the koalas. If you are a koala, will you message in the chat what your score was? 35, and then while the koalas are doing that, let's hear from our cautious eagles.
So I just kind of wrote it down on a list too, no fancy PowerPoint, but so we like to-do lists, we like meeting deadlines, planning weekly, desk calendars, organization, color coding, that was a big thing, special colors for special things, we all did that. Knowing expectations, time management, details, cleanliness, and somebody mentioned this thing and I'd never heard of it, and it was like the 3, 2, 1, like picking like for like somewhere to eat. So like one person picks like 3 options and then the other person goes down to 2 and then 1. I thought that was cool. And then for disliking, we don't like lack of effort, lack of organization, unplanned things, last minute plans, chaotic situations, disorganization, and we hate making decisions.
Yes, those are definitely our eagles. So bases decisions on logical thinking and critical analysis, takes very few risks, very detail oriented, very fact oriented, asks a lot of questions. So if you have an eagle in your group or a friend who's an eagle, definitely respect the need for privacy and detail, focus on step-by-step explanations, avoid surprising changes or violating the eagle standards, provide pros and cons to persuade, disagree with the facts, not the person. So just those are our lovely Eagles. If you are an Eagle, will you message in the chat what your score was? 33. Is everyone a 33? Oh, I see some more. 40. Whoa. Lots of 40s. Okay. Well, I will write down who had the highest score. So what I'm going to do, the reason why I'm asking what everyone's score is because the people with the largest or the highest score in each category are going to come together as a group, and they're going to plan a sisterhood activity for the whole chapter. So they're going to be the people with the highest score. They're typically like the most probably eagle of all the eagles, or the most lion of all the lions. So it's going to be fun because they're going to have to work with other people of other personalities. So they're going to come together and work together to plan something. Was there anyone, whenever you all were taking the assessment, was there anyone who had like even scores like all across the board?
I basically did.
Yeah, so did I.
I did too.
Same, mine was pretty close.
Yeah. Well, so people who have even scores all across the board, that means that they're like able to like really adapt into like whatever role they like really need to be in a different situation. So if they're in a group with all lions, they may not be the person that needs to take charge. They may need to be the person who really like buffers all those larger personalities. So they may take on like more of a porpoise role or a koala role. Or if they're in a group of people that has no eagles, they may morph into that eagle role. So it makes you a little bit more adaptable if your scores are more even. And that's ultimately like what you want to be, even just moving on into like your professional roles. You want to be able to adapt into multiple different situations and really fit on any different team that you're in. So it's a really good quality if you were even across the board. I know it's like, I'm like all of the above, but so that's great that you were. And it's also good to be completely full-blown 40 on one side. Just you have to know when to tone it back and when to really like lean into it. So it's a good just self-awareness and like learning about yourself. So yeah, so why do you think like we did this activity? Like, why do you think I had you all learn about other personalities?
Probably to see who we're most like.
I think it also shows that we all complement each other in different ways, and it's like we really can come together and use our differences, you know. The variety like only strengthens us.
I really like the part in the like where all of the explanations for all of them are, where it says like how to improve your relationship. I think that's like a really important. I feel like not a lot of personality tests have that, like, because it helps you like understand. Because like I went straight to the porpoises part, but like I might not have like read the lions, like how to get along with a lion personality more, and like I think that's a really cool like aspect of this test specific.
Yeah, I've done other personality tests, and I was like I don't know what animal I was, but it was different than this. So it was kind of cool just like seeing how that is. And I'm probably gonna like go back and like compare that personality test with this one just to see like for fun. But I like seeing like how I am and like who I am and like in more of like a different perspective, and then seeing how many people relate to me as well.
Yeah, ultimately, like we want you all to learn more about yourself, and then also we want you to learn more about one another, and so that you also are able to, you know how to relate to one another, know how to work with one another. And we just really are building a community of women, and we're not all exactly the same. We don't all think the same. We don't all look the same. We don't all act the same. So really making sure that we're also respecting and appreciating and caring about one another's differences is really important. So it's a fun activity to do, and I'm glad you all really liked it and enjoyed it and participated. So definitely keep that packet, like it's all yours to keep, and read through it and learn more about the other personalities as well. So we're going to jump back into some of these slides. I'm going to shift gears a little bit. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be talking about sisterhood versus friendship. So some of you all, whenever you met with us during like a Delta Day, we may have told you about sisterhood versus friendship and like the difference and how really Tri Delta use that. So we have our core values of true self-sacrifice and friendship. But obviously, friendship is our core value. We are one of the few organizations that has friendship as a core value versus sisterhood. And we like to say it's really kind of, you have to choose to be a good friend. You really have to show up for one another. Even people who don't think and act like you're showing up to be a good friend for them. While we do have friendship as a core value, we also are a sisterhood of women, and we are one another's sisters. So we really wanted to talk more about the difference between being a sister versus a friend and really what that looks like. So while I'm going to assign you all into breakout groups, I want you all to message in the chat really like why you joined a sorority, like what really motivated you to join an organization. I see a lot of make new friends, build community, meet new people, values, make new friends. Yeah. Absolutely. Be a part of a lifelong sisterhood. That's great. So I think like the common theme from a lot of the messages that you all are sending is that you all are really looking to gain like a community of some sort. Maybe the community that you're looking for may not be exactly the same as like the reason why somebody else is wanting to join a community. You may be looking for more of that friendship aspect, someone who like chooses to show up for you every day, where someone else may be looking more for sisterhood, something a little bit different. So what we want you all to do is really brainstorm the difference between a sisterhood versus a friendship and what that means to you all, so you all can come to kind of a common agreement on what you think is a friendship versus what you think is a sisterhood. So on this, you all can take a picture of this if you want, if it's easier for you to have a picture of this little chart. It's also in your new member journals on page 29, if you all have that like handy. Excuse me. So I'm going to divide you all into groups of about 6, and I want you to kind of work through this chart based off these like questions. And I really want you to think about like what a sisterhood would mean to you versus what friendship means to you, and really maybe how those two overlap. So like thinking about things like, what could I expect from a sister? What could I expect from a friend? I know some people have sisters in here, maybe I'll pull on that a little bit more. But then, so we want you all to kind of work on that, and then we'll come back together and kind of agree, like as a group, what you all want to view your sisterhood as and what you want to view friendship as. So I'm going to open up the breakout groups, and I'll give you all about 10 minutes roughly. All right, we're waiting for one more group to come back and then we will get started. Okay, we're all back. So what were some things you all said about friendship?
My group had talked about how friendship is more of like a deeper bond because like you really choose who you are friends with. Like you don't just walk up to random people and you're like, oh hey, now we're friends. Like you really get to know the person first before you like create this bond. So it's like a different than just like being part of a sisterhood.
Mm-hmm.
We said like the biggest thing was like that you get to like choose who your friends are, but you don't choose who your sisters are. And so it's like a different type of connection.
Yeah.
With that, we talked about like friends having similar interests and morals.
Yeah, my group said that like friendship is what you may go to more often, but because it's what you choose, but sisters will be there for your life no matter what. Because friendships can kind of like come and go.
My group's the same thing. We kind of felt that sisterhood was the step further other than friendship, because again, like how Rachel had mentioned that, you know, friendships do come and go, and sisterhood is like making that bond for a lifetime and choosing to go that step further.
Yeah, we had talked about also how like there's different friends who are put into your life for like different sections. Like you have friends who are like supposed to help you get through high school, friends that are supposed to help you get through college, and like they all have like a different purpose, but like the sisters are there like from beginning to end.
That's awesome. What were some things you all said about sisterhood?
Sometimes, oh, sorry. Sometimes you feel like you can't go to friends about everything. And for those certain like either conflicts or anything that you can't go to your friends about, you go to sisters about. There's just a different bond, I feel like sometimes.
My group was talking about how we all have the common interests of like our philanthropies and kind of have a common bond that we wouldn't have with our friends unless they're in the sorority.
Our group talked about how on a personal level how sisterhood's made and how like we all chose to join Tri Adult for a reason, and like it's usually an interpersonal reason, or like what you believe, and you know like you can be connected with so many different people, but at the end of the day like we all chose to be in this together.
Yeah, we kind of talked about like how sisters have like ups and downs, but like at the end of the day they're still your sisters, and like you still have that bond that like a friendship doesn't always have.
Yeah, I was explaining in my group how I have a sister, she's younger, and I would tell her like like when I would get mad, I'd be like, oh, like I hate you or whatever, but she would always be there. Like I would never tell a friend, even if I was so mad with them, that I hate them. Like you can't, not like you can't really go back from that, but it's just like a different kind of realm having like a sister, because a sister's innately there. She's like, but a friend, like they can go away and they're, so yeah.
We talked about how like you might not always like your sisters, but you always love them, and like how important that is, and how there is a lot of us, and there's definitely a lot of different personalities, as we saw like with the personality test, but so we all have to like get along in some sense.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, there's definitely going to be days when you might get frustrated with someone, or maybe you just, you know, are not excited to come to a chapter meeting, but that's kind of part of the sisterhood, is that you all are in this community together to support one another and to be a community of women. So sisterhood does carry a different meaning, because there is still that kind of obligatory relationship where it's like, ugh, this is hard and maybe I don't want to do this today, but I'm still going to show up for you because you're my Tri Delta sister. And then still having that friendship to where you're showing up, kind of like how we talked a lot last week, by being a good friend for that person and reaching out and helping them get through like a hard week. So absolutely, there's always going to be different layers and different levels to this whole community, and you all just really get to embody that, and make sure that you are being a good sister and really a good friend to one another too. So yes, that's awesome. Well, great. Thank you all for that discussion. I hope you also got to meet some other personalities in your group, since we all still have our kind of our tags on our names. So keeping with our Yuzu personality assessment. So we're going to switch gears again, and we're going to go over kind of the pre-initiation module review. Hopefully you all got a chance to do this on leader.org. It's basically just an explanation of Tri Delta's rituals and kind of breaks down the different degrees of them, since there are different parts to initiation. Did you all, it's in the newsletter, so hopefully you all have watched it. And if you didn't get a chance, because I know you all had midterms last week and some of you all still do, so it's okay if you haven't watched it yet, just go ahead and try and watch it before initiation, because honestly it'll just kind of explain everything really well. You might come into initiation probably a little confused if you haven't watched it beforehand, and it's only like 7 minutes long, so it's not bad. Like, just watch it if you're waiting for your class to start, like whatever you got to do. So basically, what I'm going to explain to you today, I'm also going to do kind of a pre-initiation ceremony with you all. So this is like, I'm just going to read really briefly a pre-initiation part to initiation, and it's going to really explain a little bit more about our initiation service. Technically, if we were all in person, we'd probably be wearing white for this, since it is kind of part of our ritual, but today it's totally fine. Like, I didn't tell you all about this, so don't even worry about it. I'm gonna read it for you all really quick. So just try and kind of listen to the things I'm saying as I'm saying them. And this is called the preamble to initiation. So, Sister Deltas, Tri-Delta rituals are a constant reminder of the truth, self-sacrifice, and powerful bonds we share. The meaning behind our ritual is what makes being a Tri-Delta so special, as it is ceremonial, solemn, and contains our essence as a fraternity. Our ritual embodies our values and principles, and they are what set us apart from other groups. They stress the ideals needed to guide each of us in the development of our individual self and to strive for a society that shall be kind alike to all. You are about to experience Tri-Delta's ritual that has essentially been the same for almost 132 years. Sarah Ida Shaw was a New England Protestant, and her point of reference in writing our ceremonies was drawn from her experience in her own Episcopalian faith. She was also a classic scholar and drew from Greek mythology to choose the legends and our symbols. These legends are just that, stories which we do not ask you or any Tri-Delta to accept as true. Drawing from her faith, Sarah also chose readings from the New Testament of King James Bible. For us, the point is really the message of the selections she made, not the source of the readings. We want you to think about the importance of the supremacy of love and having care and concern for each other in our sisterhood. These are the important messages of the selections you will hear. Although the rites and readings are based on Judeo-Christian principles, we are not a religious organization. We are a diverse and well-rounded fraternity with an international membership of women of all faiths and creeds, and we support the inclusion of all of our members in our meaningful rituals. Tri-Delta ritual is not a religion, but a rite of passage where we affirm our shared faiths in each other, in our organization, in our chapter, and in ideals that are important to us. As you partake in our ritual, you will be linked to Tri-Delta's beginnings and through the fraternity's special mystery shared by our members. Our ritual shapes the sisterhood of all Tri-Deltas who have ever been and ever shall be. So yeah. So why do you think it's important that Tri-Delta communicates the relationship between the organization and Greek mythology?
I feel like it helps keep tradition and passing things along.
I think like if we were to stray away from that, like we would lose our like founding purpose and stuff like that.
And then like relating to the symbols, like the symbol that we did was Poseidon and the trident, and that like does relate the sorority directly to a Greek god and some of that mythology.
It also kind of creates a foundation and a base that can be like grown upon, and that every tridelt is using as their foundation. Kind of connects all different tridelts from all different schools.
Yeah, why do you think, also kind of jumping off of that, why do you think it's important that Tri Delta communicates the relationship between like the organization and like our founders' kind of beliefs that she held?
I feel like that's kind of like the reason why we're all here and why Tri Delta has become like so established is because of like those original like roots of like why it became. And I think like that's what like makes the organization so strong. And if we were to like stray from that, it would weaken like the meaning and like the bond between like all the different chapters.
I also think they specify that it's not like a religious organization despite having like religious backgrounds, because that would make it not as inclusive, and Tri Delta like is inclusive of all, so that's why it's included.
Yeah, thank you, Laura. Yes. So it is important because like the stories that you all are going to hear during initiation were written in 1888 when Sarah Ida Shaw really wrote our ritual. So it's really important to understand kind of the framework and the mindset that she was in, since she was like a Greek scholar and was a Judeo-Christian. So she really draws from the New Testament, but it is the stories and really the message that she's conveying in those writings that we really live out today, and that what binds all of our chapters. But if that is not what your faith is or your belief is, you don't need to accept these stories as true, because we are inclusive of all organizations and all backgrounds and beliefs. So I think too, the coolest thing about Sarah Ida Shaw, our founder, is that she actually went on to write a bunch of other organizations, other sororities, rituals for them after she founded Tri Delta. She kind of became what I am to you all, really a consultant to other groups, and helped them get up and started. And so she wrote their ritual for Jewish organizations and other groups. So she was also very inclusive herself, but used her values that she held during that time to really write our ritual. And that's what we still all listen to today. So you all will hear a lot of that on Saturday, which will be really great. And then we will kind of debrief, pick apart some of the things you all heard in the following Sunday, and then during our last new member meeting of the semester. So very exciting. So now we're going to do another activity. So what I want you all to do is just, well, first, what I want to really point out is, I don't know if you all have noticed this yet, I hope you have, but our new member program, we're really asking you all to like really reflect on yourself and really learn more about yourself during this time, so that you can start becoming really like the best version of yourself. That's really what our program is about, is the growth and development of each and all of you. So what we want to do right now is, it's called a becoming reflection. So grab a piece of paper, or you can grab like a notes like app, like whatever works best for you. And at the top, I want you to write, I am becoming a person who ... And then I want you to write underneath that different qualities that you really see in yourself as you've grown just this past semester, and maybe some qualities that you're even really excited to really grow into. So I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to write down just a list of qualities that you're becoming, and then we'll kind of share with everyone. Okay. I'm going to send you all into a breakout group, and I want you to share with your group just some qualities about yourself that you're becoming, and kind of explain like why you're really excited for those qualities, or just kind of your explanation for it. And we'll only stay in those groups for probably like 4 minutes. Looks like we are all back. Great. Was there any qualities you all learned about from like someone else in your group that shared that you thought was like really cool or exciting?
A lot of people said confidence, which I think is good.
One person in my group said like loving me for me, which I really liked.
A lot of people in my group said like staying more organized and time management. They're getting better at it.
A lot of people in my group talked about like open-mindedness and like being willing to talk to new people.
A lot of my group was saying like newfound confidence since they've joined.
Yeah, someone in my group said they're becoming more family orientated. So that's nice.
We also talked about voicing our opinions more and not letting people walk all over you.
Yeah, my group said basically becoming like more self-aware.
We talked about being more independent and also going outside of our comfort zones.
Wow, that's awesome. You all seem to be really growing, which is really cool. Were there any qualities like that you wrote down for yourself that you were just really proud of?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
You can go, Tiffany.
I said I am becoming who I was meant to be. Who I was in the past is not who I am now. And I think that I'm evolving into the person that I was meant to be in the first place.
Yeah, I said something similar to Tiffany. I'm becoming a person who is like practicing self-love, because I've definitely been struggling with that. So it's kind of really cool to see me love myself for who I am and kind of like become the person that like I was meant to be. Kind of similar to Tiffany, but yeah.
For mine, I've always struggled with like anxiety, and like I'm becoming a person who's like finding a way to like really manage it, especially this year. And like I'm just like kind of finding my way. So I'm super happy about that.
Another girl and I said that we've become more responsible and more motivated to get our work done and like get better grades in school.
I said that like I'm kind of learning how to use like my strengths, but then like apply them. I kind of like always like knew like, okay, yeah, I can be a leader, and like I love to teach people and I love to like make connections with people, but now I'm kind of like, all right, let's figure out like what we want to do and start applying them and like finding out ways to like reach your goals and like use my strengths, like actually use them, not just have them, like kind of go after what I want more.
I wrote this down, but I didn't say it. I'm working on taking more risks. So I'm a very safe person, and I feel like that's super important. Going after what I want and taking risks.
What did this activity feel like for you?
For me, I feel like it felt good because I just like I know that other people are feeling the same way that I feel, but it's nice to have like the reassurance that there are other people that feel the same way. Cause like we're all like together, but we're also like alone a lot too. So like just having that reassurance, I feel like is really nice.
I was gonna say something similar. It kind of feels nice to like share with someone that like you know that you're growing and becoming more of like the kind of person you want to be. And like speaking that into words is so much different than like just thinking about it and letting yourself feel. But like speaking it out, it's like, whoa.
Yeah, I feel like when you actually say and acknowledge like out loud that you're growing, you're like your mind like realizes it more than like just the fact that you are growing.
Yeah, and with that, I feel like when I was saying it out loud, I also began to realize even more things because I was talking about how like I'm having a better time this semester and like I'm making more friends and it kind of made me think, "Oh, and I'm also doing this and this," and it just kind of boosted up my spirits a bit.
Yeah. Why do you think I had you all kind of reflect on this?
To see what we have in common again and to see like how we differ and how we would all get along.
And I feel like
it would.
Oh, sorry. You
No, you can go.
Okay, sorry. I was just gonna say that like a big part of the sorority is like character development and like becoming the best version of yourself. And you just wanted us to see like how much we've grown since we've like started like this semester and like the sorority and like how we're improving upon ourselves.
I feel like it was just sort of give ourselves credit for everything that we've done because like I feel like during coronavirus and isolation and all these things, we kind of just have a lot of negatives in our mind, so we don't give ourselves enough credit for everything that we are working on and doing.
I was gonna say the same thing. Like, kind of like your worst critic. So self-reflection is important because it helps you know that you're actually doing a lot like more things that you're like giving yourself credit for. So that's very important to know and do daily.
I feel like you also remind us of who we actually want to be during these activities, and you always keep us on track and make us feel inspired to keep working towards our better self.
Yeah, I think it also like made us very vulnerable to each other, and it kind of puts the trust in everyone that we've kind of opened up to and kind of let them know like our progress as like people.
I feel like who we're becoming, like the things we wrote down are kind of the reasons why we're here. Like we all, before we signed up like for a Delta date or like an interview or something, we were all kind of like, all right, I'm in a place where I want to maybe join a sorority and like, okay, Tri Delta sounds like it might be something that I'm interested in. And I feel like these are the reasons why, like, I realized that this is something that I wanted and I went after it, and I might not have done that if I wasn't becoming this person. And I feel like that's like kind of what we're all doing.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much for sharing, and thank you for being vulnerable with one another and really opening up about these parts of yourself that you're really proud of and that you're really becoming. And like I think someone said it earlier, but just to think how far you all have already come in just such a short amount of time, just think about like really where you're going to go in your Tri Delta experience. So definitely keep like leaning into these moments of growth and really challenging yourself on a day-to-day basis, and really look for these times of reflection to give yourself a pat on the back because you all are doing so incredible. I know sometimes it doesn't feel good because of everything going on, but you're doing so great and becoming such incredible women. So very thankful for you all. Okay, we're going to shift gears again and talk about initiation details for this weekend. So this weekend, Saturday, October 24th from 10 to 12 is when initiation will be, and it's going to be in a virtual format. So a Zoom link is going to be emailed to you. I am not responsible for planning initiation. We have a whole event team at executive office who plans initiation installation. So they're the ones who are going to be emailing you all the Zoom link. However, I know that some people's, like with your Sacred Heart email, things just like don't always get to you all. So I'm going to be also texting you all the Zoom link, and I'm going to be uploading it onto Omega One. So you all have multiple ways to access the Zoom link so that no one is unable to get onto it on Saturday. So please wear your ritual attire on Saturday. So those white, pastels, creams, have it be like a dress or a jumper, really kind of whatever works best for you, but come in your ritual attire. And then what else do we have? Log into your own computer for attendance purposes. The way the Zoom, it's like a higher, it's not going to look like this. It's going to look a lot more like conferencey kind of feeling. It's going to feel a little bit more enhanced. So the way that the attendance works, I need everyone to log in on their own computer so I can see each individual person. You won't be able to like rename how we normally do. So you can still sit with people who you maybe live with, or if you want to get with your small group to watch it together, that's totally fine. You just need to log in on your own computer so I can make sure that you are marked as attended. And then also I know some people have messaged and said that they have things from like 11 to noon. The actual initiation, like the ritual portion, will be from 10 to 11. And then from 11 to noon, we'll switch gears and do more the installation banquet, where we'll have multiple people give speeches and other chapters that are sending in videos. And that part can be recorded and we can send to you if you miss the second half. So really, if you can make the first half, that's the most important. And then if you have like class or some sort of obligation that you like absolutely have to be at, we can send you the recording of the speeches. But then ideally we'd love for you to stay the whole time because we're all very excited to celebrate you all. And then feel free afterwards if you all want to, spend time with one another to kind of celebrate. Definitely do it in small groups, but you're more than welcome to do that. And kind of celebrate. And then we'll again meet on Sunday for our typical time, our 4 to 6, to just kind of debrief the whole ceremony. So do I have any questions about initiation?
If we're not able to make it at all on Saturday, I know like an email was sent out. Do you know when this like a makeup one will be yet?
Yes. Well, so no, I don't know when a makeup one will be yet. So I'll reach out to everyone. I have everyone who's emailed me already. I have you all in an Excel sheet that I've been tracking, and then I'll check and see who all missed on Saturday. And then I'll email all of those people and we'll schedule a new makeup time for everyone to come to who missed it. So yes, that's a good question. Was there any other? The initiation ceremony will be led by our fraternity president. So she is the like national president on the executive board. So she will be traditionally like at an established chapter, your presiding officer, your president is the collegiate chapter president who leads ritual, but because this is your first time that you all will have initiated members of Epsilon Psi, our national fraternity president is going to be leading it. And then you'll also see Meredith and I also up there reading as well from the ritual book. And then our lovely volunteers, your advisors, are going to read off all of your names at the end. So you're going to see faces and kind of hear names and things like that. So it's just a little introduction. And then afterwards, during the installation banquet, there's going to be a lot of different speeches. So definitely be on the lookout. And then if your parents or your sisters, like anyone, your family or friends, if anyone also wants to join in on the installation banquet, they're going to air it live on the Facebook page, on Sacred Heart Facebook's page, Sacred Heart Tri Delta's Facebook page. They're going to air the installation banquet live so they can watch it too if they want to do that too and celebrate you all. So very exciting. Happy for you all. So if you all have any questions, just text me. But I will be there. I will text you all the Zoom link. I will make sure everyone has that Zoom link. So you all will get it. Okay. So now we're going to talk a little bit about Delta Week. I'm very excited for Delta Week. So who can tell me what Delta Week is? Like why we have a Delta Week? Does anyone know? It was in our newsletter.
To celebrate new members.
Yes. Awesome. It's how we celebrate new members joining our organization. We want everyone to feel loved and celebrated and so excited. So every time like a Tri Delta class gets initiated, they always have a Delta Week with all sorts of fun activities where you all feel celebrated and get to like really, feel good about yourself joining Tri Delta. So these are kind of the details. So for Monday, we're going to be doing, so you all can do apple picking or pumpkin picking with your small groups. But that's honestly, it's super, super flexible. So if you and your small group aren't available on Monday, or maybe just apple picking or pumpkin picking is like not your guys' thing, like you all can make the activity whatever you want it to be. Just kind of arranging a separate time with your small group so that the only thing that you're doing is really just kind of like hanging out and celebrating each other. And it doesn't have to be on Monday. You can do it on Tuesday or Wednesday or next week, whatever works best for you. And if you go apple picking or go to the orchard, and I called a couple of them and some are kind of picked out. So if you all just want to go look at the pumpkins or do, the maze or something, that's totally fine too. It's just really chill. It's meant for you all just to kind of hang out. So that's for Monday. Then Tuesday, our St. Jude rep is going to come on and do an information session and explain our partnership with St. Jude. And then she's going to also explain some activities, different fundraising activities we can start doing this semester. And then she's just going to talk about like Tri Delta's history and things that you all can traditionally do as a chapter to fundraise. So that will be 6 to 7 on Tuesday, and we'll have a Zoom link for you all to kind of just hop on and just make it if you can. It's not required. Just come if you are able, and I can record it too if you all would like, so we can have that for people who aren't able to go. And then Wednesday, I'm really excited about this. So you all are going to be starting your chapter's history. So from 8 to 9 on Wednesday, we have a guest. Her name is Beth Applebaum, and she oversees all of the museum and like archives history at our executive office. So she keeps she has like Sarah Edith Shaw's badge and like all of these great things. And each chapter at in Tri Delta has like an archives box. So like a box full of like newspaper articles or old pictures or things like that the chapters will send in and they want to store for long term. So you all get to start your box on Wednesday, which is really cool. So she's going to come on and do like a presentation on the history of Tri Delta, and then you all are going to write a letter about your time being a founding member, and then you can mail in any pictures or anything that you want to be stored in that box as a founding member. So that's really excited. So come on Wednesday if you want to participate in starting your chapter's history. Thursdays, I'm going to send you all the videos that you created and you all can watch them all together, however that works for you all. We're going to try and post it on the Instagram with just the close friends, so you can maybe watch it there as well. And then Friday, we're going to be doing kind of a fireside. So in Tri Delta World, a fireside is like a time when we all kind of come together and we just kind of get really vulnerable and just talk about our experience and things that we're really looking for and like what Tri Delta has meant for us. So it's kind of a more deeper discussion that we'll have to just kind of get us in the right mindset going into initiation. So that'll be from 6 to 7 on Friday. And then we also have a Zoom link for that. And I'll send out all of these Zoom links in the newsletter, and they will be posted on Omega One. So just come if you can. Every activity is completely optional though. So if you aren't able to attend, that's fine. You don't need to text me or tell me that you won't be able to come. We're just gonna kind of roll with it, and whoever is available to be there is who's available to be there. Before I kind of move on to the next part, do I have any questions about Delta Week?
Yeah, so my like small group meeting is Wednesday, like 8 to 9. So what should we do about that? Like just do it afterwards or?
Yeah, so you can just get with your small group and kind of just decide on a different time that would work best for everyone.
I had a question. Sorry. I had a question about the apple picking and the pumpkin picking. Transportation wise, how was that working?
Yeah, so you can just get with your small group, and if someone wants to, like if you all want a caravan or if you want a carpool, or if you all don't really like want to go, it doesn't work for a group, like you can find something on campus, like go to the diner instead or something. So you kind of just make it work for your group because we know that each group is different.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're going to talk about Omega One. So I have exciting updates on Omega One. So we finally got it to work, hopefully. So basically they fixed the integration issue. Basically the problem was like our TriDelta system, we had you all in our roster, we have all of your information, and that in our system has to talk to the Omega One system. And there was an issue with the roster and the talking. It just like wasn't translating. So now, thank goodness, they're finally talking and we're really excited. But what they've told us, so this year, since we've kind of had issues, what they told us is that all of you all should have been sent like an email that's like, claim your Omega One. And I think some people have gotten it and have been able to find it. Some may have not. You all might need to like go look for it. I think it was just sent out on Friday. So I'm going to share my screen and kind of show you Omega One because I feel like it's been a long time since we've talked about it. And I just want to like go over it with you all since this is like our main platform and this is what we'll use. So this is like the home screen. This is like the wall whenever you're looking at Omega One. As you can see here, I like posted some of the module newsletters, different things like that. So the thing you all really will be using a lot is this contact list. So in here, anyone that's listed right now, these are people who've probably accessed Omega One already because you had to come in here and upload your contact info. So this isn't everyone, but this is like, these are the people who probably have access to Omega One from my assumption. And then what we also will use a lot is this calendar. So from here on out, this is really where you'll find the Zoom links for our meetings. So this is like today's meeting. And right here, you can see Zoom. And then you can add all these things to your calendar. And then if you aren't able to attend, instead of texting or emailing us, what we want you to do is to submit an excuse. And this keeps it all on one system. So whenever you text us or email us, like it'll take us a while to get adjusted since we didn't kind of jump off like using Omega One. But from here on out, we're probably going to ask you just to submit an excuse through Omega One if you aren't able to attend. So this is like, has all of our important calendars, updates. I mentioned like the fireside on Friday, like here you can see the Zoom link for it. Same with the St. Jude info session initiation. I haven't gotten the Zoom link for it yet, but I'm going to upload it here. And then also, I know not everyone is getting the newsletters just because I think it goes to like promotions or I don't even really know. I uploaded everyone has now 2 emails uploaded for the newsletter. Like I uploaded your school email and your personal email. So when this next newsletter goes out, check all your emails because it goes to one of them at least. And so on top of the calendar, you're probably also going to use this files a lot. So if you scroll down here and you can see here, weekly newsletters, fall 2020, and here includes all of our newsletters. So if you ever need to go find something in the newsletter, you can like view it here. And then we'll also post like question or polls here. We'll ask you different information just to get to know you all better and figure out like what we want to do for certain things rather than like utilizing Instagram for that. And then I know some of you all haven't gotten the email. So what I'm showing you here is like on my end, this is an administrative view, but I can see who's never logged into Omega One. So I can see who maybe it like doesn't have that access. So like Madison, I can go here and I can click this and then I can resend the login email to her. So Madison, like I just resent you that login email. So if you didn't get your login email, like first I would check to see if you did get it, but if you didn't get it, email me, email shu@tridelta@gmail.com and I can resend this to you. And I can also check here to see like what email it's going to. So this is like going to be our hub for what we're going to use. And we're going to definitely be uploading all of our things, the birthday, the faces, you can add all sorts of stuff. It's super helpful. So I'm glad that it's getting fixed. And then you can use this to access your other things. In the event that it's not working, I do not have like administrative access to this backend because this is a different platform that we outsource. So I'm really not that much help to you all. If it's not working, who is helpful is if you go click, if this is like the main page, and if you click support at the top, and you can contact like whatever email. So like right here, the customer service at Omega One or at omegaphi.com. This is going to be the most helpful because I simply do not have like access to the back end on here. But I can help you if they're not responding. I can also email them and help you kind of expedite that process. But this is definitely going to be your step one to getting access. And then another thing that you could try is clicking this get access right here and then scrolling down and figuring out like, okay, is it you need access to the Omega Phi to pay your bills, or do you need access to Omega One? So if you click Omega One here, it'll take you to this. This is the trick with this. Don't use this drop down menu. For some odd reason, Delta 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 is not listed there. You want to click this continue, and then you'll put your last name, your email, your phone number, and then click submit, and it should help you out too. So you might try that and the contact support.
When I did the drop down, I found Tri Delta as an option, not Delta Delta Delta.
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe
so
that
did I.
was my problem all along.
But it wasn't working for me still because like I don't know what username to put.
Try using the continue, and then because when I did it, it worked for me.
Yeah,
So
I
it's-
hit continue. It doesn't ask for your email or name or anything. It just asks for your member account number.
Yeah,
And then
so
your last name. So where would we find our member account number?
I did the continue thing and it just asked me the like last name and stuff, and that worked for me.
Yeah, so just click the continue, and then it asks for your last name, your email, and your phone number. And so I just entered mine in, and it said we found you, and took me straight to the login page. So you might try that too, and then like it let me in. So you might try that, and if that doesn't work, definitely email the people because they are going to be the quickest. And then I can also check on like my back end here. Like I see it seems like a lot of people have like never logged in before, so I can go here and try and like resend you the login and let you know which email is listed there. So does that sure it doesn't like help a ton, but gives you all some insight on the platform and getting kind of acclimated to it. So definitely try and get on there this week, since that's where we have a lot of our Zoom links posted. And then message me if like maybe you saw your name whenever I was scrolling, and you need me to resend you the email. So do I have any questions, thoughts?
Yeah, it asks for my member account number.
When you click the continue?
Yes.
Okay.
It just asks for that and my last name, no email or anything. So where would I find that member account number?
Good question. Let me get back to you on that because I'm not
To do my Omega One, I had to like click on the thing that was like click here in the email because I couldn't get to Omega One by like just going through my Omega Phi. So, and it wouldn't work going through my Omega Phi like on Google. So I had to like go through that email. I don't know if that's what you're doing, but
I got an email with my like member number, so that's what I entered in, and that worked for me. So I don't know, maybe it's in your email. If you guys check, like your member number should be there.
Me too.
The member number came out like super early. Like that was one of the first emails that I got from Omega, was that one. It was like the one to first start setting up your.
Oh, I think I found it. Yeah.
Okay.
That works.
Awesome. Thank you all. That's super helpful. I know the system's constantly upgrading every year, so this year is how it's working. So we'll see. We're making it through with the Omegas. That's what I like to say. Okay, we're gonna switch gears again one last time and go back to our PowerPoints. So we did our Omega One overview and explanation. So we're going to talk about finances. So billing went out this past week. right. What is today's date? The 18th. Yeah. So billing went out on the 13th. I know I had some questions about the installment plans. If you requested an installment plan, you should be on one. I switched everyone over who requested one. It does look a little funky because all of those one-time new member fees are included on this first month since initiation is this month. But honestly, we're super flexible. We know that we're in a pandemic and that everyone is kind of dealing with different financial circumstances. So really just pay what you can when you can. And if we need to work with you, just let us know. We're going to be really flexible during this time. So just reach out to me if you're kind of having any financial barriers to paying during that 30-day window. It is kind of funky because the invoice says due upon receipt. So when you read it, you're like, oh my gosh, I have to pay today. But you really do have that 30 days until it's considered late. But in the event that that 30-day window is like not enough time for you, just reach out and let me know and we can work with you. We're going to be sending out, so this is exciting, a badge order form. So within your dues, that $178, that covers the cost of just a standard badge. So you've probably seen like mine or Meredith's badge that we wear. So that's what it costs, or the $178 covers that cost. If you want to upgrade any of the features on your badge, if you want to add additional items, I'll include the images of the things you can add on the badge order form. You can just select the upgrades that you might want, and then I will charge you for whatever the cost is for those upgrades. And I include the cost on the Omega, or not the Omega, the Google form that you can choose. And if you don't want an upgrade, you absolutely don't have to have an upgrade. It's just an option if you would like one added to your badge. We're going to be doing a makeup pledging ceremony immediately following this meeting. So when everyone kind of hops off, we're going to start our pledging ceremony, the makeup, and then we're going to have another makeup pledging ceremony right before our history session on Wednesday. So if you've not gone through the pledging ceremony, definitely stay on the end here, or you can hop on Wednesday. Those are going to be your last two opportunities before initiation. So definitely squeeze that in if you need it. Newsletter. So if you missed part of, this, I'll include the recording into the newsletter that's going to go out either this evening or sometime tomorrow. It takes sometimes, because I record these, sometimes it takes a little bit to download. So I'm going to send it out whenever this gets downloaded. And then, so there's been a lot of communication like all over the grid for us. So I'm sorry if you've had any slow responses. Meredith and I also traveled home just in this past week. So we've kind of been a little off the grid. But if you want a quick response from us, really the best way to contact us is through the Gmail, or really the fastest is going to be texting us through the text messages, like through the number that we've been getting all of our messages from. So like right before this call, I messaged everyone the Zoom link. So like responding to that number is going to be the quickest. So that is like really what you need to know. If you have a question about small groups, Meredith's kind of more your gal. If you have a question about this meeting or maybe finances, I'm kind of more your point person. So we may, if you text us, we may say like, hey, I'm going to tell Meredith you need something. We might like kind of defer you to the other one. But if you need a quick response, that's how you get a hold of us. And then a quick reminder, just send us your symbols video if you haven't gotten a chance. I've already gotten a ton of people, so I have them if you've sent them. But if you all still need to record them, just a quick reminder to send that over so I can make our video. And then just to kind of wrap up our time together. So out loud, I want you to say something that you enjoyed about today's meeting. I want you to text a buddy, like a quality about your personality that really resonated with you that you could have learned from like Yuzu or from your reflection. In the chat, I want you to message like what part of the pre-initiation service kind of resonated with you. And then whenever you're done, I want you to hold up a Delta.
I liked the Yuzu activity.
Yeah, I like the Yuzu activity and going over like what qualities are important.
Finding out what
I like the breakout.
I like
ones.
finding out what animal.
I also like the breakout of the nature. I like the
Like the
animal
Yuzu.
activities.
Like the animal one.
Happy.
Like the breakout room.
I like the you do activity.
Yeah.
Rooms.
Breakout rooms.
I also like breakout rooms.
I like the self-reflection.
Like the what we are becoming activity.
Okay, I see some deltas. Awesome. Good job, y'all. All right, and our last part of the meeting is our sister shout out of the week. So Georgia is our girl. She's from Greenwich, Connecticut. Us and the consultants, we actually took a drive down there the other week. So very beautiful. She is majoring in art and design. Her favorite food is Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is also my favorite food. She wants to travel to Nashville because she loves country music. She loves dolphins or cats. It's a wide variety there. Loves to watercolor, paint, and then she's passionate about any sort of art form, including film or TV shows, music and art. Whenever I'm doing anything artistic, whether it be drawing or painting, I'm listening to music or having a TV show or movie playing in the background. So awesome. Yay, Georgia. If she's in your small group, give her a shout out, or if you see her around, definitely give her a shout out or maybe text her. Just tell her congrats. So that's all we have for the new member meeting portion today. So if you're good with just the new member meeting portion, you're good to hop off. If you want to stay on for a makeup pledging, definitely do that. We'll get started in just a few minutes.
Lainey, I have a question. I'm not sure if I